Hello students, I am Dr. Sanjeev Ponia. In last lecture, we revised the digital electronics in computer architecture. There we discuss about the number systems, Boolean algebra, laws of the Boolean algebra. Then we discuss about the logic gates, basic gates as well as universal gates, and in the last we discuss about the boolean expressions and minimization of boolean expression using kmap. In today's lecture we will discuss about the logic circuits. And in logic circuit, we will discuss first of all the difference between the combinational circuit and sequential circuits. These are two type of logical circuits. So first of all, we should try to understand the difference between these two, and after that we will study a different type of combinational circuits as adders. In this we will study half adder as well as full adder. Then we will discuss about the subtractor, multiplexers, demultiplexers, and in the last we will discuss about the decoder and encoder. So first of all we should try to understand the logic circuits. So logic circuits is the combination of more than one circuits in which we get the desired output, and that circuit contains a lot of logic gates. So the logic circuits are basically two types. First one is combinational logic circuit and second one is sequential logic circuit. The difference between sequential and logic circuit is that this circuit, combinational circuit, is memoryless, whereas sequential circuit has memory. It means when we have a combinational circuit, this is any combinational circuit. In this, when we are giving the input, then output is, this is the input, then output is based on input only. But in case of sequential logic circuits, when we are giving the input, this is sequential circuit, there is a input, this is the input, but at the same time we are feeding the output line, we are feeding some content of the output line to get the next output. This is the last output. We are getting, or we are giving some part of the output as an input. So it means that we are using a memory over here, where we are storing the last result of this circuit, and we are using the result, the last result in the next input. So combinational circuits are the circuits where outputs does not depend on memory, means complete output depends only and only on the current input. Whereas in sequential circuit, output depends on current input as well as last output, and this last output is provided by the memory. So in the simple sense we can say that Logic circuits are of two types. First one is combinational circuits and second one is sequential circuit. Combinational circuits do not have memory, whereas sequential logic circuits have memory. And in combinational circuit, output depends only and only on input line. But in sequential circuit, outputs depend on input plus last output of the circuit. So this is the basic difference between combinational logic circuits and sequential logic circuits. We have to study different type of logic circuits in which there are lot of circuits. Those comes under combinational logic circuits and some comes in sequential logic circuits. So today in we will discuss about the combinational logic circuit. In combinational logic circuit we will discuss about adder, subtractor, multiplexer, demultiplexer, decoder, and encoder. So we will start first from the half adder. So half adder is a circuit in which we have to add two numbers. Suppose I have to add 5 and 3 in decimal, then this is equivalent to 8. I know this. But if I want to perform the same calculation in the machine, because we know that machine understands only 0 and 1, so the binary equivalent of 5 is 101. I told you that how we can calculate this. So binary equivalent of this is 101. And binary equivalent of 3 is 0, 1, 1. 0, 1, 1. Okay, I am taking instead of 3, I am taking 2 over here. Instead of 3, I want to take 2 over here to make it more clear to you. So this is instead of 3, this is 2, and this is 5 plus 2 is 7. So here I will take 1 and 0 because 1 and 0 is equivalent to t. So this is 0. So when I am adding these two binary numbers, then this is 1 plus 0 is 1, 1 plus 0 is 1, and 1 plus 0 is 1. So we are getting 111. And if I am converting this number into decimal, then this is equals to 7. So suppose this is first number, as in this case this is 1, this is second number 0, this is third number 1, and this is any other number. So I take two binary numbers. For an example, this is 1101, and I want to add this number in 0, 0, 0, and okay, here I will take 1. I will take 1 over here. So this is 1 and 0. I want to add these three numbers, these two numbers of 4 digits. So this is 1 plus 0 is 1, 0 plus 1 is 1, and 1 plus 0 is 1, 1 and 0 is 1. So the result I am getting sigma 0 equals to 1, sigma 1 equals to 1, sigma 2 equals to 1, as well as sigma 3 is also equals to 1. So we do not have any problem in this circuit. So this is the equivalent representation of the half adder. We can see from here that when we are given two inputs A and B, then possible combinations of this is 2 raised to the power 2, as 2 are the inputs. So these are 4. So 4 are the possible combinations, that is 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, and 1, 1. So these are 4 different possible combinations. So I want to add these numbers now. So 0 plus 0 is 0, no problem. 0 plus 1 is 1, no problem. 1 plus 0 is 1. But when we are doing 1 plus 1, so this is equivalent to 2. This is equivalent to 2. And I can represent 2 in 1, 0. Means my sum is not coming in 1 bit. Sum is not coming in 1 bit. That's the summation. This is the reason that in last one, when I was giving you an example to add 5 plus 3, 5 plus 3, I was taking this example first, then I changed it. Then I changed it from 8 to 7, 8 to 7, so that instead of 3, I have to take 2. Because if I will take 3, then I have to face this problem, and I do not want to explain this problem in half adder at that time. So this is the thing. So the circuit for this is, for an example, this is a half adder. This is a combinational circuit of half adder in which there are two inputs A and B. Sigma represents the sum, sigma represents the result, that is sum, and R represents carry. When we are adding 0 plus 0, result is 0, sum is 0, and there is no carry. When A is 0, B is 1, sum is 1, so there is also no carry. The carry is only in the case when both the inputs A and B are 1. So in that case, sum is carry and we are getting a 1 as an carry. So sum is 0 and we are getting a carry. So this is the carry out. For an example, it is going to represent by R. So the when we want to solve this, when we want to solve this using the K map, then after solving this using K map technique, we will get sigma equals to a b bar plus a bar b. When we are solving this using the K map, then the equation for the result for the sum we are getting this one, and for this we can write a F or B. This A, F or B is equivalent to this one. So instead of this result, I can write A X or B, and for a carry I am getting R equals to A into B. From here you can see when these are 0 or any one of this is 0, then I am getting the 0, and when the value of both the inputs A and B is 1, then I am getting 1. So from here, when A is equals to 1, B is equals to 1, so A dot B also equals to 1. So we get the solution of the half adder. I did not solve this using K-map because I will tell to solve that how we can use K-map to solve the equations or solve the addition and carry using the K-map. So I will explain the solution using K-map in full adder so that you can take the concept from there. So for the sum, I am taking the A plus B, XOR of A plus B, and for carry, I am taking the AND of A and B, so I am getting the R. So this is the corresponding circuit of half adder, and from here you can see that we are not using the memory. Output is based only and only on the input. So this is the reason this is called combinational circuit. Now we will try to understand this using the full adder. As I told you that a number can be, for an example, a number is 111 and we are adding 011. We are adding 011. This is equals to 7 and this is equals to 3. So when I am adding these two numbers, then I am getting 0 and 1 carry also. Let me put these values over here. This is A1, A0 is 1, A1 is 1, B, okay, B, not B, A2 is 1, and suppose I am taking this is also as 1. When this is 1, this is B1 is also 1, this is 0, and for an example, this is also 1. Then I want to try to solve this question because we are getting a or we are adding 3 inputs. In half adder, we were taking only 2 inputs, but here these are 2 inputs and maybe there is a carry from the last sum. So when we are adding 1 plus 1, so we are leave this for the moment, we will discuss it also. So when we are adding 1 plus 1, so this is equals to 2, and 2 we can represent 1 and 0. 2 can be represented by 1 and 0. So this one has to be added, this one that is carry has to be added in the next digit. So this is now 1 over here. So to add 3 digits, we want full adder in this case. So this is 1 plus 1 plus 1. That is 1 plus 1 is 2 and 2 plus 1 is 3. So binary equivalent of 3 is 1 and 1. So here I will get 1 and in carry I get 1 again. So this we have to use as a carry to add next digit. So here it will be 1, that's the carry of the last digit or last bit, and 1 is 0. Sorry, 1 and 1 is 10. 10 in binary, 1 and 1 is 10 in binary, or we can say 1 plus 1 equals to 2, that we can represent it 1 and 0 in binary. So this is 2, 2 plus 0 is 2, and we can write 0 and 1, 0 and 1. Now this one also we have to use as an carry for the next bit. So this is also 1. So 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 plus 1 is 3. So 3 has to be written 1 and 1. So this is the result. This is the result, that is 1, 0, 1 and 0 is the result, that is addition of these, and we are also getting a carry. So this carry also we have to store somewhere. So from here the result is 1, 0, 1 and 0, and carry is 1. So in this way we can use a third bit you for the carry. By using that we can add three numbers. Now about this R0. As we are discussing over here that a carry pass from this addition to this addition, or from this bit to next bit, maybe R0 is also a carry that comes from last bit or come from somewhere else. So the value of R0 also can be 1 when there is a carry from somewhere, or it may be 0. So this is the concept of R0. Now I will try to find out the minimization of this equation. So first of all, before that, we should try to understand that how the addition is going to be performed. So I have two numbers AI and BI, AI and 2, and this is the carry that I am getting. So for each and every combinations of A and B, there can be a carry or there cannot be a carry. So when I am taking one combinations of A and B 0 0, so there is can be a carry or there cannot be a carry. So if there is not a carry, then this is 0 plus 0 plus 0 is 0, and this is the sum, and we are not getting a carry for the next bit. Here also the sum is 1 and we are not getting a carry. Now we will discuss here when the values of the input is 0 and 1, then there is no problem when there is no carry from the last bit. But when there is a carry, then we will get 0 plus 1, that is 1, and 1 plus 1, that is equals to 2, and 2 is going to be represented by 1 and 0, means a carry is going to be generated from here. So a carry is going to be generated from here and sum is 0. In the same case, we can get the value of carry one from these three combinations. These three combinations also give us a carry. So now if we want to solve the equation or we want to minimize this equation, then in that case we will make a K-map table for Ri plus 1 means for the next carry is going to be produced from these three numbers or not, and one for the summation of this number means one for this summation and another for this carry. So we know that there are three numbers: first ai, bi, and ri plus 1. So this is for ai, bi, and ri plus 1. So the total possible cells are 2 raised to the power 3 as we discussed. So 2 raised to the power 3 are equals to 8. So there are 8 cells, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And the values starts from 0, 1 like this. So when we are putting these values in corresponding table or corresponding K-map, then we are getting a 1 over here, 1 over here, 1 over here, and 1 over here by using the sum of product. Then when we will solve this, we have to make the combinations. So this is a one combination and this is another combination and this is a third combination. So by solving this K-map, we get a equation that is b a dot b plus ri a and b f or. So we are getting ai and bi means multiplication or and between these two, plus ri means carry from the last digit multiplied by the f or between ai and bi. Now in the same way, if I want to try to find out the equation for the summation, then these are the four values. From here I can write these four values for the one. So when I am making a combinations, then there can not be any combinations of one. So I have to take each and every one individually. So when I am taking these one individually and solving the equation, then I will get ai x or bi, then result of this and x or ri. So this is the result that I got for the summation and this is for the carry generation. In a simple way, I can represent this full adder by using this circuit. Means in this way, I am giving two variables or two inputs ai and bi. This is the carry from the last digit. This is the carry from the last digit, this one, and I am getting summation. This is the summation and this is for the carry generation. So this is the simple circuit in which we can design, but we can make the full adder using half adders also. So when we want to design this full adder using the half adder, then this full adder can be designed using two half adders. two half adders, and we will put these two half adders in a combinations where R, that is carry from the last digit, is sent to be this half adder, and two inputs, that is AI and BI, are going to be input in another half adder. So here we will get A, AI and B XOR B, and here we will get A dot B, A dot B. Same when we will implement these over here, so we will get the same output as we discussed in the last four, as the at expression to find out the summation is AI X or BI X or RI, and for carry generation this is AI dot BI plus RI whole multiplied by AI X or BI. So this is the way in which we can implement half adder as well as full adders, and these are the combinational circuits. Now if we have to perform an subtractor, then to perform the subtractors are two ways. Either we can perform by taking the 2's complement of B and add that 2's complement of B to A. Suppose I have to perform A minus B, then in that case I will take 2's complement of B. So this is A, and 2's complement of B, and I will add that these two numbers. I discuss you that how we can find out the complement. One complement is the reverse of all the numbers. Suppose a number is 1010, then the ones complement of this will be, we have to reverse all the digits, that is 0101, and to find out 2's complement we have to add 1 in this. So this is the way to find 2's complement. So this is one way. The another way is that, we have to make the half subtractor first, then using the half subtractor we can make the full subtractor as we discuss in half adder and full adder, and then we will make this full subtractor for the n bit numbers. So these are two different ways in which we can make the subtraction process. Now multiplexers. Multiplexer is a circuit where we have more than one inputs and one output only. It happens sometimes that we have to choose a input line on the output line among the many input lines. Suppose there are 5 different lines and I have to select only one. Maybe at a time I have to select F0, maybe another time I have to select any line. So this is multiplexer is going to use when we have to select more than, we have to select one line among more than one line as an output. This C0 is a control signal. If the value of C0 is 1, it means this circuit is working or this is enabled. But when the value of this is 0, it means the circuit is not working. Or we can also discuss that control inputs is going to represented by S. This is S0, S1, S2, because total number of inputs are 2 raised to the power n, 2 raised to the power n, and n is S is the selection line where total number of selections line are n. So selection line depends on the number of inputs, and we can implement one more enable line to make it in the high impedance or in the working condition. In demultiplexer is the reverse of multiplexer, in which, okay, there is one more thing we can discuss in this. This is a multiplexer of 2 is to 1. It means there are two input and one output. In this one, okay, this is for the demultiplexer, yes. So in the demultiplexer, there is one input only and more than one output. So we have to see that this input we have to transfer on which output, maybe the, so multiplexers are a device in which we have to select that which input we have to give to which output. We are not changing the value of the input, only and only we have to select that which one is the input we have to give on output, or the input we have to provide to which output. So this is also a 1 is to 2 demultiplexer, means there is one input and two output. Same here can be, if suppose this is 1 is to n, 1 is to n, then selection line will be 2 raised to the power n. This is for the selection line. So this is the table for this one. So this was about the multiplexer and demultiplexer. Now we will discuss about the decoder and encoder. So we discuss that in multiplexers and demultiplexers, there is only one output in multiplexers and one input in demultiplexers. But it can be the case that at a time there are more than one input and there are more than one output also. So when there is a condition or there is a logic like this in which the inputs and outputs are more than one, then we have to implement decoders and encoders. In decoder, suppose this is a decoder of m is to n, m is to n, then n will be equals to 2 raised to the power n, means total number of output lines are more in decoders. Total number of output lines, that is these are more than these, and total number of output lines will be 2 into number of input lines. As we can see over here that this is 2 is to 4 line decoders, as input are 2 and outputs are also 2 raised to the power. Here inputs are 2, so 2 raised to the power 2, that is 4. So 4 are the total number of output lines. So it happens in the case of decoder. This is another example of a decoder. As over here we discuss a 2 to 4 line decoder. Here this is a 3 is to 8 line decoder. Sometimes it is also written by 3 multiplied by 8. So it means there are 3 input lines and 8 output lines. I told you that output lines depend on input, so this is 2 raised to the power number of input line, that is 3. So this is equals to 8. There is one signal that is called enable line. That is called enable line. This enable line decide that this circuit, that this decoder should be work or not. Sometimes it happens that the decoder is not in the use, but each and every element takes some electricity, some power. So we do not want to waste that power. In that case, we have to implement a signal, that is en enable. When the value of this is 1, it will work as 3 is to 8 decoder. But when enable is 0, then in that case this is working as an disable. Means the we can change the values of enable from 0 to 1 also. Means it can be the case that when it is working as a decoder, then the value of enable is 0. We can also do that. It's depend that how we design our circuit. But the main concept is that on one value it will work as a decoder, and on another value the circuit is in high impedance, means it will not work at all. Now encoder, this is the reverse of decoder. In this there are in this input lines are more than output lines. Suppose there are m output lines. In that case input line will be 2 raised to the power m. In decoder we discuss that if there are n input lines, then in that case output lines are 2 raised to the power n. So this is the reverse of decoder, in which number of output lines are less than number of input lines. So this is the case in the decoder. Now we will see that what is left over here. I think this is the last slide we have to discuss today. This is a 7-segment display. This 7-segment display is used to display any number, any digital number from 0 to 9. We know that there are 10 numbers in decimal numbers, that is 0 to 9. So when we have to make a display in such a way where the values is going to be so, then we can use these type of display. This display is like this one, means there are different LEDs. So these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So there are 7 different LEDs. This is region, this is called 7 segment display. When we have to make a one, only we have to draw these two. So this will be 1. So by using these LEDs, by using these 7 LEDs in different combinations, we can design any of the decimal numbers, and each of the segment represents a LED, is going to be represented as a LED. So this was the last topic in combinational circuit. So today we discuss that what's the difference between sequential circuit and combinational circuit. Here from the starting we discuss the difference between combinational logic circuit and sequential logic circuit. In combinational circuit, there is the input and output does not depend on the last output values, means output depends only and only on the current input, and there are no memory device used in combinational logic circuit, while in sequential logic circuit the output depends on current input as well as on last output also. So there is the need of memory in this. So these are the circuits. Sequential logic circuits are the circuits in which there are memories or that contains memories. Then we discuss different type of combinational circuits, that is half adder, full adder. We discuss that how we can minimize these full adder or half adder using the K-map. Then we discuss about the subtractors, two method of the subtractor. Either we can find out the subtraction by using the two's complement of second number and adding that to the first number, or by designing a circuit for n bit subtractor. Then we discuss about the multiplexers where more than one input lines, and on a output we are getting on single line only. In demultiplexers, input line is single and there are more than one output lines. In case of decoder and encoder, there are more than input lines and output lines. In decoder, output lines are 2 raised to the power number of input lines, and in encoder, number of inputs line are 2 raised to the power number of output lines. It means number of input lines are greater than output lines. Then in the last we discuss about 7 segment display. By using 7 segment display we can design any decimal numbers from 0 to 9. So in the next class, we will discuss about the sequential circuits. Thank you. Thanks a lot for your patience.